What was the most uncomfortable thing that happened to you during sex? Did you stop? We're going at it and happened to look over at my dog. He was getting it in with one of his toys simultaneously. He does this every time. Not sure who raised him. On top having an unexpectedly good time. Came so hard I shat myself. No longer having a good time. Finn. Saw his phone getting a call from his blocked ex. Uncomfortable. Yes. Then he confessed that he was still dating his ex he was with for 3 years. Someone in our dorm was playing All Star by Smash Mouth and we had to stop because I couldn't handle it. Sudden back spasm. Not good. Had to stop. Made me feel really old. When in college, was getting the bone from a guy, riding him hard, I was facing his bedroom door, he was facing, sucking, my boob. His door opens and his dad walks in, looks me directly in the eyes and just freezes for a few moments. The guy didn't realize, his dad snaps out of it and gives me a thumbs up and a go get em kinda hand movement, leaves and closes the door. Finished the sex, on the way out, his dad asks to speak to me. Sits me down and asks if his son is respectful, not forcing me to do something I don't want to do and if we're using protection. He was in dad mode and made me feel really safe, even though his own son was involved. I had a single nugget of poop dropped on the bed as I came. I as quickly as I could bare hand scooped it up and scurried over to the bathroom. I tossed and flushed, then washed my hands and walked back into the bedroom as quickly as I could, hoping she wouldn't notice. She was quite freaked out that something had gone wrong. I started stripping the sheets without a word and that only made her more concerned. I, very embarrassed, explained what happened while starting to wash the sheets. She laughed for a minute but was quite supportive. Almost a decade later she still talks about when I shit the bed. Ugh. Girl I dated, her father was in jail for sexually abusing her. She told me how he was even caught by the mom and brothers on several occasions. Took the older brother to stand up and testify since the other brothers and mom were afraid to. So we're dating a couple weeks and in our horny honeymoon phase. We're doing it doggy. I'm going slowly, building up some tension. She turns to me and says, UHG, that's how my dad did it? My boner exits the building. She pulled me into her room and initiated. Then about 10 minutes or so into it, she starts bawling, asking me, why are you doing this to me? I don't understand why you're doing this to me. So I stopped and tried to make sure she was okay. Then she kept asking, why aren't you fucking me? I was so confused. I just made up an excuse to leave a little while later. His penis slipped out and tore my labia. Immediate screaming and blood everywhere. He took me to the ER and they stitched me up. We celebrated our 11th anniversary this month. Had an ovarian cyst rupture and almost bled to death internally. Missed her ass and slapped my ballsack instead. Got slapped in the face without warning. I slapped him back and pushed him so hard he fell off my bed. His cum tasted like battery acid and I threw up on his carpet. Now every time a dude is enjoying head a little too much I feel nauseous. Really ruined my head game. 3.6k. Ugh, I can relate. Didn't quite throw up in my ex's case, but there was no way that nasty vitriol could ever get swallowed. Always kept the Kleenex handy for that one. Yet my husband's is consistently mild, like miso soup. Something I appreciate deeply. With the ex, I don't know if that was a dietary issue or if it was just the arrogant assholery of his personality seeping distilled into his fluids. Ex-girlfriend's cat jumped onto my ass and dug its claws in. We stopped. Haha. My husband was going down on me one night. I had my eyes closed when he blew a raspberry into my cooch. I didn't realize he had burst out laughing because our Yorkie dog had climbed onto his back, then sat on his shoulder watching him, probably wondering what he was eating. Bonus, same dog, we are doing it on the couch. I am on top. He says, is that you? I was like, hole hey. He says, my nuts. The dog is standing on his back legs licking his nuts. Rip RZA. Nuts but amazing dog. Edit. Woke up this morning and ripped my inbox. I told my husband about this post and all the love about RZA's name from the Woo fans. He wanted to make sure you all knew that the dog was so clever, he responded to Bobby as well. X broke my nose with her pelvis during a particularly powerful oral orgasm. I cleaned up and kept going, then the condom broke. Next thing, I'm driving to a 24-hour pharmacy to buy Plan B and anti-inflammatories. She was too shy to go in, so I did. It may have been 4 a.m. but the old ladies in front and behind me in the queue shot some very disapproving looks. To this day, my nose points the wrong way. I consider it a badge of honor now. I was a teenager and I was standing up hitting it from the back. Her dad opened the door, walked in with McDonald's. I got McDonald's. He saw, turned around and shut the door behind him, taking the McDonald's with him. It was never brought up afterward. My girl gave me a blowjob after eating tacos. Sometimes, when I'm after drinking a lot of water, the fluid in my stomach gives blobbing sound when it moves. Blob, blob, blob. You can imagine how unsexy it does sound. There's a knock on my door. It's my mom asking if she can come in. I say a loud and resounding no. She opens the door anyway, because she did not take the time to process what was said. Mood ruiner for sure. Edit. Yes, I did stop. So the third time I had sex, with the girl who took my virginity, was in my bedroom. I was 17 and she was 18. I locked my bedroom door and closed my bathroom door, which could only be locked from inside the bathroom, and it was a Jack and Jill style. So my fucking mom jiggles my locked bedroom door and then decides to open the door into the bathroom that doesn't lock at all, and then unlocks the one that's locked from inside and barges in my room and says, oops. Yeah right, oops mom, you were totally trying to catch me. The girl was on top and it was pretty wild, guessing mom got a view she didn't want. While sharing an apartment with my sister, I hooked up with one of her co-worker. On a Saturday while my sister was out, I invited the co-worker over for movies, but like usual, we started getting frisky halfway through. While we were doing it in my bedroom, my sister came back, and we stopped for a moment as to not arouse suspicion. Moments later, my sister knocked on my door saying she was heading out again, then added, "Oh, Allison, see you at work on Monday." We thought we were being discreet, but my sister parked next to her yellow Beetle. Blew my urethra ejaculating and filled a condom with blood. Pooped on him. Was having a celiac attack at the time. We stopped, tried not to throw up and cleaned everything it touched. Needless to say, we don't get freaky until we're certain it's over now. I'm married to that guy now, so he was definitely a keeper. She was getting in position to be on top, somehow she slipped and spiked my full mast Johnny with her knee. I saw stars. Took 10 to recover and back at it. I was a teen, she was riding on top of me and she looks down and goes, "You're a naughty boy, aren't you?" I'm like, no. Fuck. Boyfriend going at me from behind, then decided to get his face in there while I was still on all fours. Well, doggy causes a whole lot of air to be introduced to my body, so I queefed in his face. Then laughed so hard I produced a whole symphony of queefs. In his face. Still together. Dislocated my shoulder and got concussion. Shoulder popped back in, and we carried on. Edit, we were standing. Me with hands against the wall, him behind me. Combined pressure popped the shoulder out, forced me face first into the wall, resulting in concussion. I kinda maneuvered my arm until I heard it pop back in. Oh, and I'm female. Was on the bottom and my eyes opened for a split second and something appeared to be moving on the ceiling. I opened them again just in time to see a spider which proceeded fall onto my face. My ex and I were having sex in her living room when we realized that we hadn't drawn the shades. She noticed this because 3 kids had their faces pressed up to the window watching us. Yes, we stopped. No, we did not remember to pull the shades closed next time. Had a similar thing happen, luckily not with kids though. I was blowing my now husband in the living room and forgot to close the blinds. Looked over and there was a construction worker sitting eating a sandwich and watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button and subscribe if you are interested in more Reddit content. See you in next video.